So I'm here with Christine Williston again because we decided to do a little bit of a series on some of the financial topics that she's been covering, because we've been keeping the videos a little bit shorter so they're easier to kind of produce and post. But we touched on a topic that she said was actually quite a hot topic and people find really interesting. And that's on financial fees and how people charge, etc., and the confusion that is circled around them. So Christine, can you give us a little bit more information on what's covered in financial fees and how that works? Because it really is confusing. I have no idea myself.
Financial fees for investments is a very big topic. And one of the reasons is that a lot of people have no idea what the impact of the fees are that they're paying. After taxes and buying a house, for many people, the investment fees that they pay in their lifetime are actually the next biggest expense that they have. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the amazing thing is that a lot of people don't even realize this. So when you are, say for example, investing in a mutual fund, you are paying a management expense ratio, which is fees to have that investment managed for you. So in Canada, we pay the highest investment fees in the world.
Really?
And people, when they hear about them, they think to themselves, oh, it doesn't sound like a lot. So, it might be 2%, it could be 3%, and that, it doesn't sound like very much. But when you take that amount of money and put it in over a lifetime, as you accumulate money, it can turn into a lot of cash. So for someone who has, for example, a $100,000 portfolio, they're paying 3%, they're paying $3,000 every year for their investments. And as that $100,000 grows, they're actually paying, more and more and more money.
The fees are increased as well.
That's right. And so those fees are supposed to be covering investment advice or financial planning advice. And for a lot of people, they're actually not getting that. They might only go into the bank once a year, they put money into their RSPs or their TFSAs or the RESPs, but they actually don't ever really speak to anyone in any depth about their financial planning.
Or you might have one meeting a year for an hour.
That's right.
That's what I was used to.
Yeah, with someone that you've never met before, who doesn't know anything about you, that has really, in that amount of time, you can't find out anything about anyone, and there's certainly no time to do some real planning in something like that. So, quite often one of the first things I do when I'm doing a financial plan for people is I look at their investments and I tell them what their fees are.
So that's not a popular first meeting because it just probably scares people a bit.
A lot of people are shocked.
Yeah.
But, you do need to pay fees. You have to, if you're going to get someone to manage your investments for you, you need to pay them. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
I think people expect to pay fees, but I just don't think they realize how much we're paying.
Well, a lot of people don't really expect to pay fees, though. They don't really understand that they're paying fees at all.
Oh, really? They think it's just, do they think it's all worked in together?
It's just magic. Because the thing is, the fees come off the top of your investments.
Yes.
So it's not like you need to write a check or you need to, give them a wad of cash. It just comes off the top of your investments. And there has been changes in the investment industry so that now you need to be told about some of your fees.
But because even in the real estate industry, like I'm in the real estate industry, it is all worked into your contract. You know exactly what the commission structure is.
Yes. No, a lot of people don't have any idea. The new regulations do require that some of the fees are reported, but not all of them.
Really?
So
I'm really shocked by that.
And sometimes people are stuck in very high fee investments, and they also have deferred sales charges. Now, deferred sales charges are kind of a commission that isn't paid to your investment advisor at the beginning. So it's deferred, it's paid out to them over time. But what happens is, if you've got deferred sales charges on your investments, it means that if you withdraw them within a certain period of time, you actually pay quite a high penalty to remove them. So I have had people who are paying terribly high investment fees for investments that aren't really making any money,
Really?
And then, so when they discover how much they're paying and how much they're not making, they want to move them. And if to add insult to injury, they can't move them because the deferred sales charges are so high.
That's crazy.
No.
So if someone books an appointment with you, you can go through all this, explain, kind of figure things out, and actually see what they're paying.
Yeah. And I mean, so I give people a number. I say to them, okay, you're paying roughly $6,000 a year for your investment, say.
Yes.
And then those people can decide whether that is of value to them. So some investment advisors may be worth every cent of that $6,000.
Yes.
Maybe they do all of, maybe they've got everything worked out for their kids' education and they've got a retirement plan for them and they've got all of these things going. So some people will be worth that. Other people, it's the half hour, write a check for the RSPs, I don't know what your name is. Is that worth $6,000? Probably not.
It's definitely worth looking into anyhow.
Yeah.
So, we'll put some additional information on the blog again. And it seems like, we're running out of time on these videos and there's a lot of interest from people. So we probably will shoot more follow-up in the future, but we'll post the video along with your contact information and we'll do additional information on what you were discussing today. And then I think we're going to have to follow up with a few more videos.
Yeah.
It's great, actually. It's great information.
Excellent.
Thank you,
I'd love to
Christine.
do it. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.